You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 64 of Frontline Fatalities, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, FatalSaint? We are here today casting a game that was just played yesterday, which is a rarity for us, considering that we've been casting some 2-year-old games recently due to a chronic lack of replays.
Yes.
But today, we're playing a game that was played in the recent Reddit tournament.
Yes, streamers tournament, which was basically an 8-player invitational, you could call it, I guess.
Yeah, and I was playing in it myself, and then I got promptly knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was arguably the two best players out of it got matched together straight away, which was Symbiosis and myself, and we had a good 3-game series. Went to a very close game 3, but he beat me and he took me out in the round 1.
Yeah, that's unlucky getting... I would put on that list, you're my homie and whatnot, but I will still put Symbiosis at seed 1 just because of, just his recent...
oh yeah, he's got tournament wins and stuff.
Tournament wins and whatever, yeah, exactly. So, you got knocked out by the best probably, and he's actually still in the running in the finals now, and he will be taking on another player from the Streamers Cup.
He's taking on the winner from this game, in fact.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. Because this is obviously
this was the semis. Yeah, this is the semi-finals. Between Pepsi and Seph, who previously it was Seph versus Steven. Seph beat Steven, and Pepsi versus Imperial Dane, and Pepsi beat Imperial Dane. And then the winner of this, because this is game 3 from the series. So if you don't know the result, don't worry. We're not going to throw out any spoilers. Not until we actually know at the end. I'm not even sure if we know. I'm not even sure if I know. In fact, I was watching a little bit of the game yesterday, but I didn't.
I got advised by AE, who's been following all of the streams as it's his little invitational thing on Reddit, and he told me, you need to cast game 3 between Seph and Pepsi. And I was like, okay, chill, relax. Don't get your panties in a bunch. What the hell? Okay, I'll cast it. So I'm hoping to see a really good battle. And just to start off, we actually have P instead of Wehrmacht, so it's gonna be Pepsi's P versus Seph's Americans. You ready, Tommy?
I'm ready.
Okay. Pause in 3, 2, 1. On pause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm not exactly sure how noticeable it is, but I'm actually suffering from a fairly heavy cold. So yeah, Tommy will be talking for the most part of this game most likely. And if you don't hear me for a while, it's because I'm like getting an aneurysm or something. I don't know what's gonna be happening, but yeah, something's gonna be happening. And what the hell is this Ketting doing?
He is
not capping his fuel. What the frack? Is this some form of a new PE? Okay, he's starting with a Ketten.
Push.
Oh,
he's going for the Ketten push, I think, on the fuel, and he's got picked Luftwaffe straight away, so he's got a cloak Ketten. I think he's gonna wait for Seph to almost finish capping that fuel and go in and do the little Ketten push trick.
This is one of the things that makes me rage about P, that you can do something like this.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, honestly, that a little car can come along and push your guys out the way.
Screw everything up.
He doesn't even have a gun. Like, if I was an engineer, I'd just jump behind that guy and just throttle him with my grease gun. Yeah. But here he comes. Here comes the Ketten push.
And there's the reset of the fuel point. I just lost hope in Company of Heroes right there. It's been 1 minute of the replay and I've already lost hope. AE, I'm going to kill you. But yeah, we did have a second Ketten first out from Pepsi and then Pigren. So what about Seph? He's doing something special, or?
No, Seph playing it very sort of traditional.
Not even bulletproof? Not even 3ES? Just normal? I only see 2 engineers.
Yep, he just opened with 2 engineers and is getting himself his first rifle. And he didn't even, his opening cap has been very very conservative as well. He went to cap that plus 10 munitions to the side of his base, which normally is not something I do. People who watch stream, I've been streaming a lot the last few days, will know that I very rarely cap that point straight away, and I leave it until I've got a very low health engineer to go and get it, because it's so far removed from where the main fighting is happening that you really can't afford to lose that field presence in the first few minutes.
Yeah, you just leave it to cap it until later, whenever you retreated one of your squads, like an engineer for example, and then just go grab it in between something, like waiting for the fuel to put up the supply yard. You just go cap it with your engineers, retreat them back to base, and then build your supply yard. You know, whenever you have time, really.
Yeah, exactly. We've got this engineer and a rifle charging down to 2 PGs. This is, I don't know, this could be anyone's win here.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of damage to the G43s, but it's not getting any kills compared to the P-Grams, which are ripping this rifle squad to shreds. Wow, he lost that promptly.
That was a nice little engagement there for Pepsi. That could have gone either way there, just depending on how the crits rolled. Yeah. And Pepsi came out on top, just losing 1 man off the G43 squad, which is pretty nice for him, because G43 squad only gets 2 G43s anyway, so he still maintains most of that firepower.
Yeah, the squad leader still has this custom car, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got like the squad leaders kind of. Yeah,
it's a little bit different from the standard one.
It's the same with like grenadiers and Volks. If you ever wanted to be like really super, I don't know, if you had unlimited time to micro in the world, you could individually focus fire down the squad leader so that you were fighting a squad without the squad leader's rifle, because it does more damage than the other rifles.
Yeah, the squad leader rifle has a little bit better reload.
What is that Ketton doing?
I don't know what the Kettons are doing this game. They're all crazy.
What are you doing?
And then he just cloaks in front of the base. Why not?
Because little cars can cloak, just like big tanks can cloak, like the Hellcat.
Yeah, or Hetzers.
Yeah, indeed, Hetzers.
Why not?
You know, I gotta say, this is, you know, when I spoke to Quinn Duffy at Eurogamer, and then later on at the multiplayer Company of Heroes 2 event a couple of months ago, one of the things he did say is that, you know, we really realized that, you know, quite a lot of the functions in the original Company of Heroes, with retrospect, are quite stupid. Like, you know, everything from snipers being able to cloak in the middle of red cover roads to tanks going invisible. So, you know, hopefully that stuff is not going to return in
hopefully
Heroes 2, because he is making a big thing out of, you know, keeping it authentic. Because, you know, I think the original Company of Heroes, when it first came out, was very authentic, but then each subsequent expansion made it far less authentic. Because, you know, you start throwing in, you know, silly cloaking units and stuff like that. But, oh, Seph, I like this. Tank traps. Tank traps at the cutoff.
Tank traps. Oh, yeah, he's building one with his engineers. It's very low health, however, so if anything stumbles upon them, he's going to be forced to retreat. And he's not going to be able to put them up before the first G43 squad, or the first P-Grant squad is going to stumble upon them in there. But yeah, good try. And he also put one down at the south bridge there. I'm not actually sure if it's enough with one to block off the Kettons.
he was trying to build 2,
second,
but the second one got pretty much instantly destroyed. He was trying to decap PE players' fuel up here in the north, but Pepsi was up there with G43 slow to pin him down and get 2 kills to boot. So pretty nice there for him. This Ketton coming along.
Look at it. It's just gonna wait there. It's like, I don't know. It's just gonna wait there.
It only really works with engineers because their DPS is so low. With a rifle squad, it would be too risky.
Suicide, yeah. But he can just wait for the rifles to leave and then go grab it again. And then Seph has to retreat something, or, you know, respond to it somehow, or else he would lose his fuel. And he wants his fuel against the PE.
In the grand scheme of things, if you're, you know, he's really wasting his own time by sitting there and not capping anything else. What, you know, when he did that Ketton push in the opening game, if I see a PE player do that to me in a game, it's annoying. But at the same time, I'm thinking this is actually pretty good for me, because, you know, that's 1 more point, or even 2 or 3 more points that he's not capping while he's just waiting to decap my point. It's bad for me, but it's worse for him.
Yeah, it can really work if you get into the head of your opponent and he gets like seriously annoyed by it. But if it's like, as you said, if it's like against you, you know that, you know, he's trading something to do this to annoy me, and the trade-off is probably not going to be worth it for him in the end. So, you know, it's just going to be good anyway. I'm just going to wait for it. We do have the first armored car on the way from Pepsi. How about Seph? Has he gotten something to?
He has gotten stickies. Yes, okay. He's gotten stickies. They just finished upgrading a minute ago, so it's kind of like he didn't really open in the way that Armstrong's strategy would go with 3S, but he's sort of developed into a strategy more like that because he's gotten those stickies and he's gotten the 4 rifles. But he's not really playing in the style. He's still playing very much in the kind of old school harassment style rather than Armstrong's strategy, which is all about basically making a big blob of troops and running the PE player off the map. He's sort of playing it more old-fashioned, running all over the place, laying mines instead of getting flamers, that kind of thing. Yeah. Mine's always a bit of a weird one against PE because there's such a high chance that Ketten's going to come along and just spot it before you can do anything.
Yeah, Pepsi has 2 Kettens.
Very frustrating.
One is only camping that fuel and harassing that over and over again, but you know he still has the second one which he built straight off the bat in the beginning of the game, so he's still gonna be able to stumble upon mines everywhere. And especially since the pathfinding, the Ketten is a vehicle and it's gonna choose the road.
Whoa, plane got shot down. Oh, whoa! I just found the crash site. It's near the top right-hand corner of the map, near that munitions point. It got shot down, and it left a big green cover crater.
Ah, I see it now. Interesting. We do have the first armor car out from Pepsi now. He's gonna be able to find these rifles, trying to cap the munitions on the top left-hand side. He was trying to hide from it, but it didn't work. And now bars!
Boat and sail away.
Bars against PE? I don't know about this.
Wow, he's gonna get that sticky off nice and easy.
Oh, nice. He's not gonna be able to kill it though with 1 sticky. Yeah. Wow, he didn't even give him a crit.
Not even a crit.
That's unlucky. Really, he should have gotten at least a damage engine crit there, because he did do a little bit of damage with the bars first. But what do you think about that? Fast bars against PE, that just, to me, sounds very strange. You know, we've discussed this at length in several other PE episodes we've done, when people have gone bars. You know, we've said that, you know, they're okay when it comes to people play like, you know, with scout cars, for example, or infantry hat tracks, or maybe also even armored cars, because, you know, they're faster at killing the light vehicles, but against the Pigrans they're just useless. And the only thing that Seph had seen was 1 measly armored car. I'm not sure if 60 fuel and 200 manpower is worth that.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right there. The bars have such huge nerfs against soldier armor, which is oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's not good. So
second armor car rolls out and does a lot of damage to the retreating rifles, which got slowed by a G43 squad and then finished off by the Pigrans, because the armor cars actually didn't get any kills, but they did a lot of damage to them.
That usage of slow kind of reminds me of slow when it was used in the previous patch in 2.601. You used to be able to, because slow back then, it worked differently. Nowadays, slow, it does have a bit of an actual slow effect, but mainly it's just a suppression and then a pin, like an MG42.
Yeah, they changed it from just walking, from like just proper slow.
It used to be just, it would physically reduce the speed of the unit, which would affect them even if they were retreating, which was fucking retarded because you could just slow every unit on retreat. And if you had MP44s or armored cars there, that was like 10-15 seconds of a unit that was moving easily slow enough for you to kill it on retreat.
Especially against the Americans, which doesn't have the retarded retreat modifiers that Brits have. You know, because if you did that against Brits infantry, the Brit player's just gonna laugh because you just wasted a bunch of munitions. You're not gonna kill anything on retreat anyway. You know, maybe if you chase like a Tommy squad, maybe if you chase him with like 2 armored cars and have 4 Pigrans focus firing him down and slowing him.
Oh no! New sticky and it's immobilized! The armored car down the south got immobilized!
Well, that was lucky. You know, at least he got something.
Straight into that one.
Yeah, he's gonna get polished off by the bars now. I think Seph should hopefully starting to roll in some veterancy soon, because he's gonna need it.
This is a dicey engagement here. He's getting very close to that armored car.
Oh, it's too many Pigrans with G43s. They do so much damage.
He's giving out quite a lot of kills to those squads now. One of them's on 9 kills, 6 kills, and 5 kills. So the first stripes of offensive veterancy are going to be here pretty soon, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before he starts vetting up his Pigrans. And with G43s, when you go offensive vet, they become like silly powerful. We have a mine spotted by one of the Ketting crads, the remaining Ketting crad, because the harassing Ketting crad at the fuel actually got killed by an engineer squad just a minute ago. So, but he still has one remaining.
2 nice little wins in a fairly short space of time for Seph, so it kind of makes up
actually rebuilt his Ketten. So he still has
not a bad idea, you know. Kettens, especially Luftwaffe Kettens, they're just so useful.
Yeah,
and look at that, he finds the mines, and now he's going to be able to make a mental note of that, make sure he doesn't run into that later on. You can probably send some PGs over there to take it down. Oh, this is the nice lure, this is the nice lure.
Well, he saw the mine before. He
Oh,
saw
did
the
he see
mine
it?
with the cannon, yeah, at the armored car. He knows it's there, he's not gonna advance now. He's just parked there. He's gonna at least protect his fuel from the harassment from the barred rifles and just wait until he probably can get a second kitten there. I'm not sure, the kitten is one on the right hand side, and here comes one. He's just driving past the barred rifles. He reached for the sticky but didn't get it off, and there's the spot for the mine. It's gonna be able to kill it now with the armored car or the Pigrons.
You know what's pretty funny though, when it comes to mines against PE, if you lay an M8 mine, the PE player has to really try very hard not to get his own Kettenkrad killed.
Oh, yeah.
Because what he has to do is he has to drive past it, then move totally away from it and hope that the decloak of the mine lasts long enough for him to be able to kill it. Because if the Ketten stays within decloak radius, the M8 mine has such a huge area of effect that he'll destroy his own Ketten in the process.
Yeah, I've actually seen that happen in a few replays and on streams. When people don't realize it's an M8 mine and not just a normal engineer mine. Because the explosion radius is, there's quite a difference to it. But yeah,
God,
2 armored cars, 2 Kettens, and several Pigrons. Let's see how many he has. He's got
no, he's
4
got to cross a
G43
negative
Pigrons.
cover road.
Against an armored car.
Oh, there's
Not good.
paratroopers landing.
Where? In the middle
Here
of
come
battle?
Harrows, they're landing in Seph's base here.
Oh, in base, okay. I thought he was gonna combat drop them.
No,
Probably not,
combat drop onto armored
On
cars.
armored cars is not a good idea, you know. It's the
Each
same with
shot
Pumas.
would be 1 man down.
Pretty much. Veteran Sergeant's just upgraded for Pepsi, which is gonna help him with the infantry. It's gonna make them a little bit better.
Seph is spending absolutely every ounce of fuel as he gets it right now, which is good, efficient use of fuel, but he's just kind of lacking fuel. You know, he's got a plus 16 income, but nothing else, which is one of the bad things about Semwa. There really isn't a whole lot of fuel. You have to be very careful with how you use it, and he's obviously spent, you know, he's spent 80 just on getting the bars and triage, and then another 105 then once you bring it up to the stickies as well. So he spent an awful lot of fuel already just getting those infantry upgrades. So even though he's got his motor pool out now, it's going to be another full minute before he can build an M8 out, or he can choose to build a AT gun straight away. Now we've got these rifles and RRs moving into the center here, but there's so many PGs, and they're starting to rack up the offensive veterancy now as well. They're getting up close, but they're getting nicely focused fire down, but one of the PG squads is getting very low health, and he does actually go down. One of the PG squads is down.
We might left the rifle on retreat, however, he didn't lose him. There was a second guy, which actually managed to retreat back to base. The Flamers get out of dodge before they die as well. I guess it was a minor victory for Seph, this engagement, as he polished off an entire Pigran squad, but that's very minor. Oh, he retreats over a mine, loses 1 guy, but there's a remaining 3rd guy on that Pigran squad. He could have lost 2 there.
Yeah, they killed the PG squad, and I think that was an offensive veterancy PG squad as well.
Yes.
That's a fairly large win for him, but he's dropped airborne, which is, you know, that's a fairly decent investment. You know, 375 manpower, they're expensive to reinforce. But he's still against 2 armored cars, which absolutely shred airborne. Airborne RRs haven't a hope in hell of hitting 2 armored cars while they're moving.
Yeah, on move the RRs just phase right through the armor, just like Pumas. The armored cars and Pumas are basically the same when it comes to dodge bonuses against RRs like that. But
I mean, 2 stationary armored cars will
not
shred
sure
that
if
airborne.
an M8, I'm not exactly sure. You know, Pepsi's got his Tier 4 Panzer Support Command up, so he can build a response to a possible M8. But
he's going to have to do that because the M8
right now there's no AT
3 seconds
for
away
Pepsi.
from completion. And here it is. Here comes the M8 instantly getting upgraded with skirts, but no munitions for anything else. Those RRs costing 125 munitions. They're not cheap in the
pricey.
munitions bank. They did take quite a big chunk out of his resources. But the M8's going to be a good kind of complement to his forces. It's just not very heavy. You know, an M8 15 minutes into the game against a PE player, even a PE player who doesn't have all that much AT, still doesn't mean an awful lot because there's so much work that M8 has to do.
Look at that G43 blob. That is deadly. I don't know what Seph can do against that even. You know, an M8's not going to be enough.
Strafe.
Strafe, true, that's true. But he needs to get them like that. They need to be blobbed up like that.
Yeah, and across native cover. Oh god, just imagine the death.
Yeah, then he can get a real bullseye if he gets a nasty strafe on it. But as you said, the M8 15 minutes into the game, I'm not sure. It's gonna be a very minor shock unit right now because I don't think Pepsi has any form of AT yet. Nope, no form of AT. His first light AT half-track is building right now.
Okay, so this MA is going to have a little bit of free run, but I don't know,
Small
you know,
window.
Seph doesn't really know that. He
No.
can't play too aggressively. You never can play aggressively with the MA against me because there's always the chance that you're going to get tread broken, and if you get tread broken without any support, that's an instant loss of an MA.
There's a sitting duck without support, and when there's so many P-grams with G43s, there's quite a lot of work for your rifles to do. So they're not going to be able to help the M8 if it gets immobilized anyway, most likely.
And this is what I was talking about here. Look at these G43s. They're not even afraid of the M8 because there's just so many of them, they can just charge straight into it. It's getting the 50 cal upgrade, which it so sorely needs, but I can almost, I don't know, he needs like grenades, I think, Seph, to counter this kind of blobby play.
You think that would be a good idea? Yeah, if he gets some nasty grenades in a few engagements with stationary people.
Because they're only getting offensive veterancy, so if he can close the gap, it's closing the gap that's going to be difficult for Seph, but if he can close that gap, he could get some really juicy grenades off. I mean, look at that. Look at that. He could get, you know, 5-6 kills.
One grenade there would be devastating, that's true. But he has none of that, I guess.
No, he doesn't have that. No intention of taking it just yet either.
The RRs are at least destroying the green cover.
Yeah,
That's something. Might be going in for a push here. He's not seen any signs of a light AT half track so far. It is on the field, however,
nice
combined with a
nice
verbal wind as well.
A verbal wind now, there's something that we don't see every day. And a very potent tool it is too, you know, when you do see it, you kind of think, wow, why don't people use this more often? Because the suppression on it is absolutely insane. It's basically a flak veiling on wheels. I don't know how effective it's going to be against RRs in lieu of just getting more armored cars, but look at that suppression.
Ooh, nice
he just gets sticky once, but...
He's got the RRs to follow up now as well. It's 50% damage with the damaged engine. He could follow it up. He actually uses fire up offensively, which in my opinion is not that a great idea. He should use it to get away and not attack.
Yeah, you don't want to fire up a whirlwind across negative cover. That's just begging for a
Light AT half-track is getting focus fired by the RRs, actually very damaged. The Luftwaffe infantry is trying to repair it in combat here. But the negative effects of fire up is now upon the airborne, which are not going to be able to polish anything off. Especially now with two armored cars backing them up.
Yeah.
Here comes the M8 now. See what he can manage to do. I'm not sure if he can do much. No, he's actually not going for it.
Wow, an RR actually hit a moving armored car.
You know,
that was quite something.
you know, RR can hit a barn door sometimes, I guess.
Sometimes, I guess so. Here's an AT gun, just arriving onto the field now.
I think that's not a bad idea considering there's flak whirling on the field now.
Yeah.
The flak bouncer, the verbal wind, etc. An AT gun is kind of okay. If it was just, you know, some light half tracks, he could just manage to do it with the bars and the RRs, but now there's a little bit too much. Too many vehicles for the PE. But no Panthers. A new light AT half track was created, so now he actually has two because the first one managed to survive.
Okay, 2 AT half tracks. Imagine if they both pop focus fire at once. They could really whittle down an airborne squad rapid quick.
3 shots each. And the airborne squad will be dead, and you won't be able to reinforce in that time because they fire quite rapidly.
Oh yeah, and the armored cars would shoot any reinforcing guys out of the sky.
That's true,
so.
yeah. We would shred everything. We do have the 2 of the G43 P-Grants now have double offensive veterancy. You know, 1 stripe of vet more and they become killing machines, even capable of killing light vehicles like the M8. Oh, 1 armor car goes down.
Beautiful little shot there to take out one of the armored cars.
Sneaky ATG from Seph, minor victory. All he needs now is to remain in control of this infantry battle, which might be hard considering the veterancy on these G43s.
He's having a tough time. He can't reinforce those rifles in the middle of that battle. I could almost see an FHQ going up in the middle or something, having some potential. Some nice usage though of the M8 pecking away at the sidelines. Grenades are now teched. There's about 2 rifles, very nice.
Nice. He's countering the P grand veterancy with his own veterancy now. That's gonna be good. I think Seph needs veterancy. If he can get Vet 3 rifles, even if Pepsi gets Vet 3 G43s, you know, it's kinda evens the playing field out a little bit.
Seph, don't fire up into a whirlwind across negative cover.
Oh, it's a bad idea. Here comes the AT gun. He needs to set up and get some nice shots off on this whirlwind. Ooh, nice hit. The M8 might be able to polish it off now. He's trying to reverse behind the building, covers the line of fire.
No,
from
he
the
gets
AT
immobilized as he tries to go for the kill here.
Oh,
and
he
that Luftwaffe
bounces.
squad is really repairing it quickly.
The gunner gets killed by one of the bursts, and now the light AT track is going to be able to polish him off. Unless this AT gun gets the verbal, he actually misses! How could he miss? So unlucky. Main gun destroyed.
Oh, he's getting very
come on.
low. One of the RRs hasn't fired yet, and he does take it out eventually.
That was spectacular. Double explosion. M8 goes down at the same time as the verbal wind goes down.
I'd say that's worth it. The whirlwind's quite expensive. The M8 is also quite expensive.
I think one of the rifles completely died because I see I dropped the bar, and there is a one-man rifle retreating, so it kind of lived.
Yeah, no, he lived. He's still got his 4 rifles.
But
That
he
was
lost,
actually
dropped
one
the
of
bar.
Yeah, he dropped a bar from the Vet 2 squad actually, which is not great.
AT gun crew gets demolished by armored car behind the house. He was trying to go for it, but you know, in close quarters, those stationary armored cars.
Look at that airborne squad. It's getting slowed on retreat, getting focus fired down by everything. They drop
Drops
an
one.
RR.
Oh, I thought he was gonna make it
Wow.
out. Not good.
And airborne normally just take such low damage on retreat, but they've actually dropped an RR, which one of the PG squads can pick up. That engagement was very painful there for Seph, losing the M8 and the RR squad. If the RR squad had survived, it would have been worth it. But
And he only managed to kill the
squad
verbal
down,
wind.
and they are expensive. He dropped some airborne supplies for himself. He's gone all the way down the left-hand side tree after getting that recon run. So he's going to have plenty of fuel and munitions with which to fight the PE player, but still just lacking in actual units. He's down to his basic 4 rifles and 2 engineers again.
Ooh, nice mortar hit on the capping flame engineers at the fuel outside of the PE base. He gets the decap, however. Oh, that could have been a lost engineer squad there. Oh, you need to retreat them, Seph. I think it's busy in the center mic ring. Wow, he's getting lucky with the spread of the mortar shells, actually. Ooh, another guy on the engineer squad goes down, and he actually might lose it completely now. Now, there's the retreat from Seph, very nice. At the same time in the center, what's been going on here?
This armor car has just been skirting around, having a brief
Kiting
little,
rifles all day long.
kiting rifles all day long,
Yeah.
exactly. And then these G43s are just coming in. I think one of the G43s, one of the double vet squads now, is packing 2 G43s and a bar, which is scary. And I think we mentioned this in one of our previous casts last time when talking about G43s, is that, you know, bars are actually, in not just do they do less damage against PGs and soldier armor and very heavily nerfed against them, but actually, if you drop one, they're incredibly effective against rifles too.
Against your own troops. Very counterproductive, yeah.
I would love to see an FHQ from the PE player or the US player, in fact. I think both players could do with one.
Yeah, they're fighting very heavily about the middle now.
Yeah, exactly. So they could really
FHQ
could help themselves out with an FHQ. And there's still all these weapons, and look at that. There's a 57 there in the middle, which if only we had 4-man squads upgraded, that would be an easy steal for Pepsi.
Yeah, I think Pepsi is going for Panther Battle Group because I saw that he unlocked the mortar upgrade. And, you know, I doubt that he will build any mortars when you have double light AT half-tracks on the field. There's just basically no point in building mortars. Especially since it's not fighting TD, it's just fighting M8s, and the light AT half-tracks actually have very good penetration against them. So I think it's just going, you know, slowly and steadily for Panther Battle Group. And there's the unlock. He just unlocked them. He can't afford them now. He's only got 300 manpower in the bank. But, you know, considering his army size is fairly large, he still has
when they
most
arrive,
of his lights.
they're going to be painful.
They're going to be unstoppable, I think. I'm not sure if Seph can come back from this right now. I'm not sure what he needs to do.
He's dropping more airborne, which I think is a good idea. I think more airborne is a good idea. RRs are very good against Panthers. They're good against half tracks. You know, they're going to work against. You know, there's 3 half tracks out. These 2 AT half tracks and the mortar. If he can take those out with the RRs or keep them at bay at least, that'll be good. But he also desperately needs to either recapture that AT gun. He can try and make a big play for that AT gun to try and take it back, or he can build some more. 30 cal in the middle there goes down. The M8 got tread broken.
Can't even hit the armored car. He tried to get a sticky off on it with his
Oh,
barbed
and he has
rifles.
he's rescued the 57.
Oh, turn it on the enemy!
He's made a big play for the 57 here to try and take it back. I don't know why he isn't running away with it though. I think he was just trying to get a lucky kill.
There goes the M8. These Vet-2 rifles had a lot of work, and there's no RRs on the airborne so far, so all of these light vehicles are
No,
going to
but
be good.
the Vet-2 rifles picked up an RR though.
Ooh, nice.
And they used it to almost finish off that armored car, but not quite. They couldn't
Oh, there it
do
is. AT gun gets destroyed by a mortar
Oh,
shell.
here's a strafe into the middle. But it was disappointing damage.
Very
ultimately.
disappointing. What happened? That should have been, I don't know, I guess.
I think if he had incorporated those Luftwaffe into the strike, then it would have been a much more effective. But I think it's because he missed those 3 Luftwaffe
Yeah,
guys.
it looked
and
like he was on the far
Slow.
left of that road, or the bridge part there. So the strafe missed the Luftwaffe. Especially since they were repairing at that time. If he had gotten the Luftwaffe in that strafe, they would have died instantly. No, we've seen strafe like kill pumas and whatnot. I was kind of surprised. None of those light vehicles died. None of them.
I've killed light vehicles with strafe before as well. I think it's just because the strafe, I don't know, it was angled a bit weirdly. It was angled straight down the road. I think whereas all the vehicles were kind of lined up across it.
Yeah.
If he had done it more sideways, maybe it would have done more damage. But yeah,
more
you never know
center.
how strafe is going to work out. It's a bit
Hit or
random
miss.
like that.
Hit or miss, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Still 3 of these G43 squads are still out there from Pepsi. They're really racking up the kills, 20 kills, 22 kills. Pretty insane, and those Panthers can't be too far away now.
700 manpower is just waiting. All he's really doing is like rebuilding his kittens so he can go out and cap now, so he doesn't get pop cap, because he's not sitting on a tremendous amount of territory right now, and he's also losing his fuel. The armored car is going to try and come along and stop the barbed rifles getting a decap, which he most likely will succeed in. Oh, here comes
Oh, that was a bit more of an effective strafe.
1, 2, 3 kills, pins all of the 3 G43 squads in the center.
Triple offensive veterancy now.
22 infantry kills he had before, I think.
That's nuts.
Now he actually counter pins the barbed rifles with G43 slow instead. You strafe me, I'll pin you. Or slow you.
Wow, and they're actually taking a lot of damage, forced to retreat out of there. But Seph's still putting up a lot of good, intense pressure. You know, he decapped the fuel up in the north, he's taking back the fuel in the south. Even though, you know, numerically and veterancy-wise, he's outnumbered, he's still putting in a lot of aggression. I think that's really the only thing keeping him in this game.
The captain cloaked after it got out of control. How's that even possible? I thought you lost control of the units when they went out of control. I think
it must have been like
hit
a
it the
fraction
second.
of a second.
Yeah, half a second. Like command lag or something. I don't know what happened there, but that was funny. Out of control, invisible kitten, why the hell not?
Ooh, Seph now going down this supply yard upgrade route. He's getting supply yard upgrade 2. So maybe we're going to see some, like, I don't know, airborne spam?
Airborne veterancy, maybe. That'd be good.
Airborne veterancy would be lovely. Vet 3 airborne, they can take on a PG, well, I don't know how it works with PGs actually, but I know that a Vet 3 airborne will take a Vet 2 Gren squad. As well as being absolutely devastating to any kind of tier 4 armor or stugs.
Second mortar half track. What the hell? There's another plane. Oh, I just caught it crashing in the south into the hedge. That was awesome. What shut it down?
Wow.
It was nowhere close to anything.
Oh, the armored cars can shoot down from, you know,
other side of the map.
Away. Yeah,
what
no, it's
frack?
crazy. And flak feelings as well.
That was silly.
Yeah.
That was so silly.
P is an army of
anti-airborne apparently.
Stuff, yeah.
The RRs are good against the half-track chassis.
It's even worse, you know, on this map specifically, because there are 3 base structures instead of just 2, like there are on most maps. There's 3 flak peelings to shoot down buildings.
Yeah, engineer goes down on retreat in the center. The RR airborne squad is going to get out of dodge, however. At the same time, it looks like Pepsi is branching out now from his cutoff, and he's regaining some of the territories. He's got the VP on the right-hand side. He's going to go try and connect the 60 munitions with the cutoff point on the south as well. At the same time, he's moving into with his triple offensive veterancy and double offensive G43 squads in the center, getting the church. Maybe we'll see on a forward HQ now. No, he's not going for it. But we did have False also purchased and a second mortar half-track from Pepsi. I thought he lost his first one, that's why he rebuilt it, but he actually opted to go for 2. I'm
Wow.
not sure. I'm not sure
2
why.
mortar hard tracks. That could be really not. Maybe he's anticipating like an
AT gun wall creep.
AT creep. Yeah. So 2 mortar hard tracks would totally shut that down.
Yeah, easily.
And then that would allow for the Panthers to roll through. I mean, this is the thing, PE just, once it gets going into the mid game, early game often has difficulties. It has some big weaknesses, some big gaps. But once you get into the mid game, once you got access to all your units, there's really nothing that you can't counter.
Yeah, there are few units in the early game which are very effective cost-wise for PE. So if you get really pressured, like with the aim strong bulletproof strat with 4 rifles that come out of the base with health all the time, and then you like barely can manage to get your armored car out and try to push something off a cutoff and get stickied, and it's just like, yep. That was that. Game over.
Yeah.
But after that, you can get some incredible combined arms with PE. Mortar half track, Panthers, armored cars, light AT half track. One of the best things I've ever seen was in one of the tournaments, I think, which is like a very, very old shoutcast. Maybe it was Tales of Heroes. I can't actually remember. Maybe it was an old SNF episode. But there was this one time on Ango where a person got thread broken and then basically mortared to death.
I remember, didn't we cast that? Wasn't that?
Maybe we casted that. Did we?
I'm pretty sure we casted
that.
that.
I don't know. It probably happened more than once, but that's one of the combined arm things.
Was that the one on Duclair?
I can't
and
remember.
The Pershing was in the middle. I do remember a game where that happened.
Yeah, I've seen it on Ango in a 1v1, and I've seen it in 2v2, so I think we casted a 2v2, and it must have been on Duclair, most likely. Or Rails and Metal, I don't know. But, it's very difficult. Nice grenade!
Grenade! Undodged grenade, but
it
again,
did very minor damage.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing grenade. He should have at least killed 2 out of 3 guys there. Ketten Cloak as the VP.
Good use, though. Falls are definitely one of my favorite units from PE. They're because they as a functioning unit, they're quite well designed. They have their weaknesses. They're certainly not elite troops like Rangers or Airborne.
No.
But once they're in cloak and firing out a cloak, especially with those FG-42s, my God, do they shred infantry so quickly.
Yeah, in cover with the cloak bonus, they do a tremendous amount of damage. It's like insane, seriously. And I think Pepsi is using them good here, putting them in buildings, to get the increased line of sight. And you can also get some protection from it. If the flamers weren't there, he most likely would have stayed in the church as well to get the garrison bonus.
Oh, it's another strafe. It's another strafe. Here we go.
Here it comes. Wow, 3 kills only.
Hit everything, but somehow missed everything at the same time.
Yeah, I don't get it. What's up with the strafes? They should be doing a little bit more damage at least. That was 3 squads.
And there's no defensive veterancy on any of these units.
No. It's all offensive. The only thing with defensive veterancy is one of the armored cars. He's really going for it here. Seph is kind of going for broke, gets a sticky off on one of the mortar half track, but there's nothing around there to finish it off. He's got the airborne vacating the house now in the center, most likely going to try and go for a kill. Was he trying to satchel the forward HQ? I saw him reaching for it. That's not going to work. It's going to take like 15 satchels to destroy that house. It's a concrete building. It's a stone building. It's very sturdy.
If he can take out each of the 4 walls,
corners,
maybe he could. But yeah,
that's
I don't know.
4 satchels,
that's a lot of satchels.
Well, how much is a satchel? 50 or 75 munitions? I can't remember.
I think they're 50.
50? Still expensive.
Now it's turned into Hellcat train strategies from Seph. He's got himself 1 Hellcat just popped out, and second one is sitting in the base ready to go. I think he's going to wait with them until he's got 3 or 4 of them, and then just do some massive charge and hope to catch his opponent off guard. Only problem is, if those Panthers pop at roughly the same time, he is going to run into a heck of a trap.
Well, Pepsi is floating manpower. He's got 800 manpower right now. He's rebuilding things that he loses, generally Kettenkrats, which keep dying over and over again. I think he's on his like 6th or 7th Ketten right now, and this one at the VP might get killed off by a Hellcat. Ooh, I wonder if he spotted him in the fog of war there.
You should be able to hear it coming.
Yeah, he must be able to hear it now. He's got 2 Hellcats now. I didn't even notice Seph putting up the tank depot.
Yeah, he managed to sneak it up because he's had both supply upgrades for so long. He's got a really solid manpower income. He's able to get all these things.
I think Pepsi knows. He's just floating manpower now. He's not rebuilding anything. He's not doing anything. He's just waiting patiently now. And
yeah,
he's got enough pop.
He can probably hear the Hellcats. They have a very distinctive kind of humming, hissing
He must
sound.
be suspecting TD at least. Because since
Seph
built the new airborne,
except airborne and
Yeah.
rifles.
and he's only seen like 1 airborne squad getting replaced, and apart from that there's nothing new. There's no new AT guns, there's no new M8s, there's no new anything for quite a while. So he must be expecting TD play. Or something else similarly crazy. Something like, you know, he's just hoarding something in his base, and that's TD. Hellcats. But yeah, we did have a forward HQ, so you got what you wanted. It's in a dodgy building, but it's good for healing though.
Yeah, exactly. And here come the Falchion Jaegers. You can see when they're firing on someone out of cloak, because you get those little rings around the units.
Wow, he's taking so much damage. It's just like one G43 squad in a building and, you know, one armored car. The FG42 Fallschirm Jaggers were moving. Here comes the M18s now. I think Seph is kind of going for broke.
The Panthers are here, the Panthers are here, but they're not here at the same time. They're still far away.
Still a bombing run. Oh, but he doesn't actually hit anything.
Misses everything,
yeah,
basically.
Everything was dodged by Pepsi. Very nicely microed.
One immobilized, two immobilized.
Destroy the engine. Here comes the Panthers. Hello, Hellcats. This is basically... This must be curtains. This was basically going for broke for Seph right now. And yeah, he got unlucky with the bombing run. It was very nicely dodged by Pepsi. And, you know, the same time his TD units roll out and attacks, two Panthers rolls out and counters him. What
that had to be the one thing he was hoping he wouldn't see, was the Panther battle group.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, if there had been anything else, you know, another PG squad, another Falchion Jaeger squad, he might have been able to do an awful lot of, you know, just unprecedented damage here. He could have killed all the half tracks, everything, but...
He killed one mortar half track. I think that was basically the extent of it there. One mortar half track.
Yeah, he also killed a light AT half track, but, you know, that still leaves one mortar half track and one light AT half track for Pepsi, and now he's got these two Panthers, one of which has now 2 M18 kills under his belt.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, veterancy for the Panthers, and now Seph in a very bad position. He's down to just 3 rifles, 1 airborne squad, and 1 engineer. He can't really build any more tanks at this point. He can't hope to keep up with the Panthers. So it's gonna be ATGs or bust.
ATGs, yeah. But the AT guns, because Pepsi can just wait a little bit and rebuild his second mortar half track, and he still will have 2 mortar half tracks, and with the combined arms of the Panthers, the AT guns are counter again with the mortar half tracks. I don't know what he needs to do now. Really. He needs to get another. He needs to get not another. He needs to get one amazing bombing run or something. Because Pepsi is fairly clumped up at his cutoff. He's really defensive right there.
Yeah, one good bombing run could do an awful lot of damage, and he does have the munitions for that kind of thing.
Birch on the field, Birch Tiger on the field. He's going to be able to resurrect a mortar half track.
A Ketten?
Kettens. There's like Ketten carcasses all over.
Wait, where's the mortar half track carcass?
It's just at the lake by the forward HQ from Pepsi.
Oh yes, I see that now.
It's just by the lake shoreline.
You'll be able to get that back, you'll be able to get a Ketten back, and any Panthers which die. Actually, you can get 2 Kettens back. I can see 2 Kettens within easy reach.
Another strafe on the Falls and G43 Pigwens at the left-hand side cutoff.
Ooh, offensive vet G43s. No, FG42s, sorry.
I'm not sure which veterancy is best for Falls. What do you say?
Well, you know,
I
don't... When we used to play OMG mod all those years ago, that's really the only time where I learned a lot about PE, and I learned a lot about Falchion Jaegers. I used to use them quite a lot. And the thing is that I would never upgrade them. I would never get the upgrade, because the FU42s, while powerful, they actually reduce the effectiveness of the cloak bonus, the ambush bonus they get when they're firing out of cloak.
Yeah.
So when they fire out of cloak with the Kar 98s, if they're firing on ordinary rifle squads, it's actually more effective not to upgrade them. But if they're firing on elite armor troops or airborne armor troops like airborne squads or rangers, then it's more effective to get the FG42s. So in this instance, there's only 1 airborne squad, but you know, lots of bedded rifles. I would probably have not upgraded them and let them get a better ambush bonus from it. And you know, and each offensive veterancy actually reduces the ambush bonus even further, because you decloak faster because you fire more rounds.
Yeah.
But the base damage you do is more. So I would probably go for defensive veterancy on FG42s or Falchion Jaegers, to be honest. You know, just, you know, because a triple defensive veterancy Falchion Jaeger, or maybe 2 defensive and 1 offensive, you could kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And really create a, you know, a properly powerful Terminator squad.
Beastly Falls squad, yeah. We do have an AT gun out now from Seph, so he's going to be able to have something against all of these vehicles from Pepsi, but look at it. He's just outnumbered, seriously. 2 Panthers, 2 Mortar half-tracks, Light AT half-track, Birch Tiger, resurrecting stuff. There's gonna be Kettenkrats out the ass now, Pepsi soon.
Yeah, and you know, snipers aren't really viable either anymore because of the amount of cloak kettens there are with focus fire from the half-tracks and stuff.
Forget about it.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, look at Pepsi now. He's just going for Seph's cutoff, and there's basically nothing Seph can do about it.
Yeah, and both
He's just gonna brute force his way through
repaired.
everything now. And he can, too. Because even if he potentially loses a vehicle, he can resurrect it with a Birch Tiger as long as the carcass stays intact. And I don't think Seph has actually even seen the Birch Tiger. He's just been hanging out in the backfield, resurrecting stuff.
I know the Birch Tiger, he missed a Ketten. Oh no, don't drive over your own Ketten! Ah, he's gonna resurrect it. Good. Now, it's another mediocre strafe. They're just not grouped up, and it's another mediocre grenade, which he actually retreats from, but he didn't need to. Seph has actually gone so far as to lay a mine at his own cutoff, but if the mortar hits it, that could actually prove to be quite counter-efficient.
Yeah, the airborne squad is basically standing right on top of it. Where's that amazing mortar round? Ah, it's not gonna be coming in. He airdrops an AT gun on the other side of the river. Wow, the Panther almost kills it instantly.
And still, the G43s are just here, Vet 3 plugging away. The Vet 3 armored quad with 23 kills, plugging away. Now I think he's opening up with some AP rounds, but that AT gun is actually getting sniped out by the Panther. But one of the Panthers actually goes down. Okay, so that's a little win for him. Goes down to an AT gun. Probably would have liked to see it on the RRs, get a Vet 2 RR squad, but that's better than nothing. But still, he's paying for this push in blood. And it's a mass retreat with no support for the AT guns, which are just getting constantly barraged from mortar fire. Killing one Panther is good, but again, I'm just seeing that thing getting resurrected in about 5 minutes. So
yeah,
I don't
pretty
know.
much. Pepsi just needs to hang around here at the cutoff a little bit longer. He's got the 2 mortar half-track plugging away. He's got the armored car, now Vet 3 armored car, 2 offensive and 1 defensive veterancy on it. And he actually just killed the Vet 2 AT gun that killed the Panther. It just got decrewed.
And the second AT gun gets sniped.
Wow.
To death by the
wow. I think that Panther, every single shot he took on the AT gun, he hit. On the gun itself.
It's pretty
every
nuts.
Single hit. I think it's gonna be curtains when this, there goes one of the flame engineers trying to get the VP. Desperately needs the VP at the same time. He is basically locked in his base Seph now. He's not gonna be able to exit without a full force, and if he has to wait that long, he's gonna lose on VPs alone. So either way, I think it's basically GG right now. Very solid PE play from Pepsi. I like the end game combined arms. That was good.
Yeah, the end game combined arms very powerful. He had pretty much everything he could possibly want out of it, really.
Cloaked kitten abuse, however, I just puke on that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's
I don't
so
like
stupid.
it. I guess I'll just deal with it. I'll just deal with it.
Until COH 2.
Yes. Then I will puke on it even more on every single forum possible. if they implement something silly like that again.
And second AT gun goes down. There's no
Unrecruitable. Panther getting resurrected. Ketten taking the cutoff. All 3 VPs in Pepsi's favor. 22. Here comes Seph's last push.
To get a sticky off. Wow. Is this going to be the... Will he get the kill?
Kill the Vet 3 armored car. No! He loses the squad on retreat.
Wow.
GG. Nice artillery round. Burns one of the rifles to death. One of the Kettens are found out. He sticks the Ketten.
Will the game be over before it dies? No, he gets it. Woo,
oh, Vet 2, 4 VPs, 1, and game. Oh, he mortars his own troop before the game's over. The Panther was almost resurrected as well.
Maybe he was going to sticky it the moment it came back. The moment it came back to life from the scrap metal it once was.
Yeah. The thing is, however, that Pepsi was floating over 1k manpower in the end there, so, you know...
Could have just called in another Panther
another group.
Just get 4 Panthers all shooting at a rifle squad. I mean, you'd hit sort of 1 in 4, so...
Yeah, you'd snipe them out eventually. You know, you'd probably hit 2 out of 4.
Probably. Yeah.
That other Panther that sniped the AT gun, that was insane. What the hell? I think he shot 4
I think it's
times
'cause
at the AT gun and hit every time.
I think it's because until they actually set up the gun, it's still technically in falling out of the sky mode, and anything that's falling out of the sky is takes basically like crazy accuracy, received accuracy
You think
modifiers.
it's
So
because
gets
it was
hit
an airborne AT gun?
Yeah, exactly, because it's an airborne AT gun.
Huh, I've never thought about that. I've never
So
thought
he
about
dropped
it
it in, and while it's floating down, everything will basically hit it. You know, including a Panther. You know, a KT would snipe it. A Panther would snipe it.
Maybe it's probably worth checking out in Corsics if you can actually manage to scramble or unscramble those.
Yeah, no, I'm sure
code
about it.
lines somewhere.
I'm pretty sure units take something like 5 times received accuracy while they're in the air.
Yeah. But I mean, when it's just moving on the ground, maybe, you know, if it's some form of a
I don't know whether
stealth
it's
bug.
because it does that kind of that weird kind of dance move where the AT gun shifts on its own.
Yeah.
The crew members kind of dance around it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that. That is so dodgy. They get stuck on each other or something. I don't know, on their selves. I don't know.
Yeah, it just swivels around on its own.
Yeah, precisely. Very nicely played. Solid PE early game, I'd say. You know, with Seph having a nice break in the mid game there, and you know he went for broke. I think that basically spelled, you know, the beginning of the end of the game was that M18 push. You know, at the same time, timed with the Panther battle group rolling out and just basically locking everything down. That shut down his only
That was
attempt.
the moment where it was going to be make or break, really, wasn't it? And it was break.
Yeah, it broke. The whole game broke. That's how bad that engagement was. You know, he couldn't help it though. He went for broke. It would have worked if the Panthers weren't there. No problem. He could have polished off all of those light vehicles, even if he got tread broken. You know, with the M18 Hellcats, he could have killed the mortar half tracks and everything else around there. But you know, as soon as those Panthers hit the field, it was basically, you know, a flawed attack from the beginning until the end when they all died in fiery passion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicely played, and that means that Pepsi actually advances to the finals, so he will be playing Symbiosis in the finals of the Streamers Cup, or Streamers Tournament, or whatever, 8-man invitational. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing the finals, and maybe even
that will have actually been played yesterday, just so you guys know.
Yeah, exactly. When you actually see this, it will have already been played, but maybe TFN will cast one of the final games if one of them ends up being very good. So yeah, we'll see in the future. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and comment and like our videos. And yep, see you guys next episode.
See ya.